Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind podcast. On this week's show, we are going to recap the one championship match between Lachlan, Giles, and Marcello Garcia. Also some other matches, and Diogo Reis versus Daiki Yonekura for the Flyweight title for one championship that Mikey used to have.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I was wondering why it was vacant. Okay,
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
Mikey.
sense.
So because he was bantamweight, but it's Flyweight for ONE FC.
Yeah.
One championship. We are also going to recap the ADCC Asian and Oceanic trials. We are also going to recap Who's Number 131, headlined by Felipe Pena and Luke Griffith. A lot on the show. As a result, because we have so many matches to go through, we're going to touch the highlights. We're going to touch the things that Miranda and I, basically on the pre-show for the last hour, have been interested in and talking about. We're going to do less play-by-play. We had a couple of matches here on the cards that were amazing that I kind of want to spend more of the show talking about, but I'm not going to do play-by-play. I want to talk about specific sequences of these matches that are like catching our interest, because it'll be a long show if we just do a play-by-play. You can go back and watch the matches yourself. As always in the show, I am your host, Maine, to my co-host,
Miranda.
How you doing, Miranda?
Pretty good.
Oop, a little hiccup in the recording there, so that'll be annoying to edit in for the video show. But kick it over so I don't do that problem again. So that's what we're doing today. You've had a fun weekend, Miranda. I was out coaching at Naga for Team Balance Baltimore, for the Hopkins Club, for the Towson Club, for my guys at Grapple Academy in Baltimore. You were over at Finishers on Saturday.
Finishers first on Saturday, and then down at Beta in DC for a seminar with Adam Wojcinski on Sunday.
I'm so excited for you to show me, like, because you were talking about on our pre-show, like what he showed, and I'm like, as a guy that loves butterfly guard, and Wojcinski is one of my favorite dudes for that. I'm super excited for you to tell me what he showed.
I don't put the gi on very often, but he was somebody that I was like, I will put the gi on.
I will put the gi on for Wojcinski. He earned it. So
He also has some amazing gis. Like, I like his gis.
He's got a cool gi game.
Well, it's because Sherry Roll makes gis for him.
Yeah, he's a world champion.
I know.
You should.
I know.
That's the guy you should make the custom gis for, is Wojcinski. So
anyway,
let's kick right into it. No big news. Other stuff's going on. Big show with a lot of matches.
And last week
hey man, I forgot. I got like
lost
3 different messages last week. Hey, remember Marcello's this week? And I was like, yep, forgot, guys. And but we got to watch it. We're gonna talk about it. This is realistically the matchup when Marcello came back that I wanted to see. And I talked about why I wanted to see this when Marcello was first announcing coming back. You can go listen to that show to kind of hear me kind of talk about that in more detail. Mainly because when I interviewed Lachlan at ADCC 2019, he brings up Marcello's run. He brings it up in a really interesting way. You can go find that interview on the Grappling Rewind YouTube page. The interviews for East Coast trials for 2025 that I did will hopefully be out this week. I fixed most of the audio, so those should be getting finished up and I can post them. But back in 2019, Lachlan talks about Marcello's run as being one of the most successful guys in Absolute. When Marcello came back, that was all I could think of. It's like it's a guy that is somewhat contemporary to Marcello age-wise. Lachlan's not quite as credentialed as far as like what he was able to win, but still a guy at the top of the world level, multiple-time trials winner, has been there, has had the worst luck at ADCC World Champions of all time. But this is a match I wanted to see, like, Marcello in. I'm not going to say I was shocked at the result, but watching Marcello get submitted in a modern era was shocking to me.
Yeah.
If there was ever a guy that was going to do it in a matchup that, like, made sense for Marcello, Lachlan kind of makes sense, man. He gets Marcello to take him down early, which in the one championship rule set, you can't just pull.
Yeah.
So it's the new meta for guys that want to go to the bottom. It happens in ADCC. It happens in UFC BJJ. Happens in Flow. Like, everyone kind of goes, I'm going to give you my leg. You're going to take the leg down, and we're going to start doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I think it is a very funny, more recent development at the highest levels for getting around that rule. But I do kind of appreciate it at least makes both guys commit and pull with contact. So it's like, it's kind of a dumb when you look at it rule, but I think the reality of what the rule does, I actually really kind of like the implementation of the rule. So Lachlan gets to start working from the bottom. And really Marcello, for most of the match, he's doing good passing work.
Yeah.
But he's doing a lot more defensive kind of getting Lachlan off a foot, getting Lachlan off a leg, not letting Lachlan enter, getting Lachlan off a leg. And it's nothing like super, super deep or super, super aggressive. It's just all you're watching Marcello kind of consistently like, deal with Lachlan's entry. Okay, deal with the K guard. Get away, push away the K guard.
It was also a lot of passing from the knees, where for K guard you almost have to pass like on your feet, and then know that K guard's coming and beat it like in the inversion of the K guard, if that makes any sense.
The funniest, sorry, not to cut you off for technical pieces. The funniest interaction on the lead up happened to this. Marcello in One Championship did a Q&A on Reddit, and Lachlan is the top comment. He goes, "Hey man, what's your plan for Friday or like Saturday?" And then Marcello or the One Championship team comments, "You know my plans never change." It was just a very funny interaction, and I like when you realize like the community is small enough for those things. Yeah, that's Marcello and that's Lachlan in just a random Reddit thread
and the
talking
two
about
of them,
this matchup.
Both of them, when I didn't realize how similar their personalities are, because they both like talked about how amazing the other one was, and they both kind of
in a sport with a bunch of assholes, there are two of the guys that we like because generally speaking, they're good guys. By all accounts, they're good guys.
One of my friends heard the Lachlan after Lachlan won his little speech after he won, and he remarked that Marcello was very clean. And he was like, "What does he mean by that?" And I was like, "I don't know what he means by that." He was like, "He's a really nice guy. He didn't shit talk, and he's really clean."
That's.
I mean, maybe smells good. I don't know.
Who knows? But the finishing sequence is it's not a crazy finishing sequence.
Not really.
It's really Lachlan gets a good bite. He inverts to a 50-50 knee bar.
Yeah.
Marcello does I watched them for the finish a bunch of times because I love these two guys and I love their games. And I was like, okay, Marcello's doing the right defense.
Yeah.
Why is it not working? Because most guys, when we break down technique, it's on the other end of like, okay, how did he mess up this escape?
Yeah.
Marcello's the one guy where I'm like, there's a couple of guys, but I'm like, okay, he's doing the right thing. Why is he doing it that way? Because I was thinking, okay, why is he not standing up?
Yeah.
Why is he not pushing off? And Marcello takes an underhook grip on Lachlan's thigh, and I went, oh, he's trying to make space to pull the leg out.
Yeah.
And then he can either like stand up and try to get out and push off, but Lachlan's going to invert and then you're in like a heel hook or you're in something else. Or he can defend the knee bar because he has more time in the knee bar.
Yeah.
Look to open the thigh up, open the leg out, turn and pull. And Lachlan just essentially beats him in the counter, makes the flop over to the other side and finishes the knee bar. And it was very funny to kind of watch like, oh, what I think he should be doing. And then going, nope, this is Marcello. He's one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Why is he making the decision that he's making? And I was like, oh, that's because this is a better way to fight this strategically in the sequence.
Strategically for him, it was probably better to get out of those exchanges
Yeah.
and then re-enter rather than trying to like fight fire with fire.
Yes, because again, Lachlan's one of the best guys in the world. I mean, look at his run in 2019. Like he's one of the best dudes in the world when it comes to the leg lock game at the highest level. And Marcello was like, again, a phenomenal technician, but just hasn't had the decade and a half of experience that Lachlan's had with the best guys in the world in a competition setting in the legs.
Yeah.
In the room and in the competition arena are different areas. And so it was just really nice to see Lachlan like go and sort of play the traditional Lachlan game with a guy that was sort of willing to let him play and try to pass off of it and then be able to get a good entry, enter through, get the knee bar. And that was really it. It was very funny. Miranda, you have a note here. It says Lachlan retires after the match. I'm like, this is to be his second retirement.
Yeah.
But if there is ever a guy to unretire for.
He said he unretired for this match.
That's
that was
reasonable.
it. And that he wants to spend the time with his family and building his gym.
And that's awesome. Again, I do.
He's also getting older. Like
he's gray now.
He's still younger than me, but he's getting older. And smaller gentlemen in jiu-jitsu competing, you age out quickly.
Yeah,
because you have to have the speed at 125, 135.
It's the first thing to go.
Yeah, and if you don't have the speed, then unfortunately it doesn't.
It's the heavyweight paradigm, man. It's like, generally speaking, they say they talk about heavyweights. Power is the last thing to go.
Yeah,
like you can have a heavyweight that like all of his other skills have kind of atrophied and come away. The speed's not there.
They can be like 45 years old and they're out there like killing.
But man, he's still got that power versus the guys, Marcello and Lachlan's weight class. That speed is such a crux and an important piece.
There's still speed, but but it's not like baby shark speed.
Yeah, let's
You
talk
know?
about it. So, do you have anything else on this match you want to talk through, want to run through?
Nope, it made me sad.
It made me happy and sad 'cause I really I really like both these guys.
I did appreciate that Lachlan was very jovial and nice afterwards because it looked like Marcello was gonna cry, and I was like, oh my god, Marcello's gonna cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was a great match. I'm happy again. This is a match I'm really happy we got. I like that jiu-jitsu retirements are kind of bullshit because occasionally you can have a match like this that will come out.
There's a reason.
Yeah, but it's like this is a match. I would be upset if Lachlan's like, oh, I'm retired. Like, I mean, give me one more. Give me one more, Lachlan. You got this. Have him pay you well and give me one more.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate both these guys getting after, Marcello had a 13-year retirement, came back. Lachlan retired after this last ADCC or 2 ADCCs ago and came back. So I appreciate it. So let's talk about that was a Legends match. Let's move on to the match for the vacant flyweight title. We had Diogo Reis, Baby Shark, versus Daiki Yonekura. We've seen Yonekura before. Cannot remember. We've seen him on Grappling before. I forget
if you
who.
click the link right there, it has things.
Oh, he's an Allione guy. That makes sense.
He's an Allione guy, and he's been in a ton of different things.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Pan Pacific champion, Sydney Open, ADCC Vegas. I've seen him at the Vegas Open. That's where I saw him.
He's a Aiga guy.
He's an Aiga guy. This is where we've seen him.
UWW.
I swear we've seen him on. We've seen him on UWW a bunch.
He beat. Is that Taza? No.
No, that's not a guy in Universal Fighters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
On Universal Fighters.
Yeah,
but
we've seen him. He's a leg lock guy. That's what they said.
Yeah, and it's sort of what it looked like he wanted to do.
Yeah,
versus Baby Shark. I mean, he immediately gives the leg. Baby Shark takes him down. Again, in the way we talked about it earlier in the show. And then Baby Shark's just looking to pass.
Yep.
Looking to pass and having success passing.
Gets him out at one point, gets a head and arm triangle.
Which I was really impressed that Daiki was able to get out of that as well as he did. It was very calm. He never let Baby Shark put the pressure down, really get super low on the chest. It was just good, pertinent defense. He gets out, and then
they try to attack each other's legs.
Yeah, Baby Shark. There's one thing that annoyed me a little bit in this match was at one point there's a reversal, and Daiki gets on top.
Yeah.
And Baby Shark later, after that reversal happens, you can see Baby Shark kind of gave it up. Goes for a guillotine. And it was an arm and guillotine. It looked not super, super tight, but it was one of those there, especially at flyweight for one championship or bantamweight, which is what these guys actually compete at. If we use terminology that everyone else uses.
Yeah.
Baby Shark can make the adjustment to finish this guillotine. And then Baby Shark, you can see him pushing his foot into the rope to get some angle, and the ref goes and kicks his foot off the rope, and I went, can they not put their feet onto it's not out of the rope. He has his foot on the rope and is pushing off of the rope. And
I would think that would be the cage.
That's what I thought. It was a really weird, because Baby Shark moves his foot off the rope like the referee told him to do, and then immediately lets it go because he doesn't have the pressure now to push off into the guillotine. It was a really weird little thing that I caught that I went, I'm pretty sure that you're allowed. He's not you can't wrap around the rope, but you can push off the rope. So it was a really weird thing for the ref to not allow him to do that. And I don't know if it changed the course of the match. Again, Baby Shark still wins a very clear decision here. There's no real big catches that are of danger for a close submission for either guy.
Well,
but Baby Shark is in the driver's seat.
Someone went into Reddit with the same comment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
oh, that's so funny. How long ago? Oh, it's a year.
Well, it's a year ago,
A
but
year
still.
Ago. Yeah, but for the grappling, it was a really weird little sequence because usually you're allowed to push off of them. You can't hook them.
Yeah.
Or go through them and fight when you're through them.
Yeah.
So it was just it was just really weird to see that. And then the match kind of fizzled, and it was really just Baby Shark passing and aggressive on top and looking for more, and Daiki just sort of weathering the storm very, very well, stopping a lot of the pass attempts, but that was the match. Diogo takes this. I do not know who they're going to get to face Diogo.
I mean, I'm sure that
they've been pulling good and interesting matchups so I'm not upset about it.
I don't think I think there's enough younger talent coming out that you could just start feeding younger talent at him.
Yeah.
I mean, really, in all
Keep him
honesty,
active, man.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Mikey match, but now Mikey's the champion at UFC.
Yeah.
So it's not a match we're going to see. Regardless, it was a good match.
But
It'll be nice to see Baby Shark get paid.
We have some smaller American jiu-jitsu guys that we could always bring in to go against Baby Shark.
There are matches to make for him. I'm just like offhand, I don't really know what the roster is for Flyweight because I thought they were closing the division when Mikey left. That was sort of the rumors that they were kind of closing all of it. But they are obviously not because they now have a new inaugural champion. And so what they're doing is a little unclear to us. So, Miranda, anything else on one championship?
Nope.
All right, let's kick it off onto Who's Number 131, the grudge match. Headlined by Felipe Pena versus Luke Griffith. We went into the full history of it last week. Notably, got 2 different messages.
About what?
About, hey, remember that the Pena versus Luke match, Luke had an entire match before he got subbed, and I went, that might have actually played a very large factor. I think it was maybe even a YouTube comment called us out for it, and I went, right, the quintets and the CJIs and the squads events always make, because we look at the records, and then I always forget, now that we have more and more team battle format style events, I need to remember that some of these guys met in those circumstances where it's like, yeah, it makes sense that Pena would be able to put him away if Lucas had multiple matches. So that was just very funny that we just both spaced on that last week, and then we got didn't get roasted for it, but it got kindly pointed out that might have played a factor. And then commentary brings it up to add insult to injury, and I went, I don't know, I forgot. That was on me.
Whatever.
This match surprised me. Result, Luke Griffith gets the choke, gets the back. Really impressive sequence for him to get the back. He basically beats Pena in a wrestle-up attempt, shucks him by, gets the back, gets the choke. Similar in the way that he got kind of Duarte in the same, like, shucks by, gets the back, gets the choke. The big question for this match is we're going to get, like, a drama section. Like, did he hold the choke too long? It was...
My only problem with this,
it was a little long.
If you get the camera that looks straight into his face, he realizes he taps, and it looks like he squeezes harder. And I don't know if that's one of those you get really excited and you don't realize what you're doing and you forget that you're choking somebody's face.
You're a top-level guy, man.
But
it was...
you could look at his facial expression. He knows he taps, and he gets the really, like, I'm happy, and he holds it. And I'm like...
It was a really bad look.
And then it looked like Pena wanted to fight him. And then it looked like
none of that was unreasonable. And then I liked that you had the new age guys come on the mat. You had the not GF team.
No, you had
the GB
Pedro. You had Pedro Mourinho.
Come
running out.
And Big Dan. And it was like it wasn't a good look. Look,
if it was in Brazil, it would have been a brawl.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was
because the crowd would have came into it.
It was long. It was long enough that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And I watched it. I watched a bunch to see, because like a lot of times your first impression is like, but we've known this long enough that generally like, you know what you're looking for. It was odd at this level.
I thought initially what had happened was
I thought it was like he'd done that tap, and then I look at the tap and I'm like, it's a pretty.
I thought he was waiting
tap.
for the ref to say to be done.
Yeah.
But when the ref is like up in your face like that, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was long.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was long.
And it was like right across the face. So
it was the one that's gonna hurt. It's gonna fuck your face up too.
It's the one that's gonna like fuck your jaw up and your face.
I watched a guy this week. One of my teammates, one of the guys I coach, dislocated a guy's jaw at Naga this weekend.
Ooh.
Like over the face, cracked it. The jaw dislocated.
Oh wow!
And I went, I don't have one of those. And he went, yeah, it was kind of gross. He's like, I heard it like crack. He goes, and then he didn't tap, and so I just cranked a little more, and he tapped, and then like he couldn't close his mouth, and they had to like reset his jaw. It was either broke his jaw or dislocated his jaw, but the guy like couldn't close his mouth.
Wire it shut. And
so it was interesting the day after this happened for that to happen at a match that I was like literally yelling at my athlete to like choke.
Yeah.
It was long. I hope that it doesn't happen again.
It looked a little dirty.
Because it was a little dirty. And especially like I think it puts a really bad precedent forward. Like these guys are the top guys in the sport. It's not acceptable.
My only problem is it seemed like something that when Luke went in the back, Gordon was probably like, "Hey man, good move there. You know what I mean? And it's like he
those two teams have
know what I
some
mean?
history.
Like,
Those two guys have some history.
Yeah, it seems like something where if your coach went to the back and was like, hey, dude, you shouldn't do that shit. Don't do it. But that's not the conversation that's happening.
Yeah. It was odd. I kind of hate that this is what we're talking about as opposed to like the neat sequence that got the back.
Yeah.
Because it's the thing that Luke's done. And I was more curious before this happened. As soon as he took the back, I wonder if they did if the New Wave or the Kingsway team did to Luke's training camp what they did to kind of Duarte, where it's like, oh yeah, we know he does this thing in this way when he gets tired. I wonder if they looked at the wrestle up sequence that Pena hits and knew.
It's not like his jiu-jitsu has changed.
No. But it was just really interesting. I was like, I wonder what that conversation is like. I would have loved to get a chance to interview Luke and ask him that, like, hey, is that specific sequence like in the kind of Duarte match? Because it's, again, such a similar sequence. Is it something you were looking for, or is it just something you were good at?
Yeah.
And so I'm just super curious about that. So Luke is the champion. And that's that. I have nothing else on that other than we just belabor the point that we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Anything else?
Nope.
Now, not the rubber, that was not the rubber match because it was the best. It was already had 1-2.
Yeah.
I think this is a match we will see again. Now that there's even more blood between them. Next match, gonna be a quick one: Helena Crevar versus Julia Boscher, featherweight title. Crevar defends the featherweight title, wins by Aoki lock. We previewed this last week. We talked about
Julia ate some footlocks.
She did.
Now, I mean,
but didn't eat in the shitty way.
No,
we were just getting cracked.
She knew what she should be doing to get out of them, but she definitely ate some.
There was a couple. There was two. There was the heel hook. That was the Crevar was kind of pulling down. That Julie was like she had heel slipped just enough from that backside 50-50 position where I went, you're out of that mostly, but there's still some pressure on that ankle that you're kind of having to eat to get as far as you got in that.
She is in Bruno Bastos's program.
Yeah, so that means you're also with Cassia Mora and like there's some high level women in that room. This was Crevar from the jump on the feet.
Yeah.
Heel hook, knee bar, ankle lock, just cycling through and eventually getting the ankle lock. And then Julia turns out to try to like roll and escape, but Crevar has too good of a bite. She lets the heel slip and then cranks high on the Aoki. This is sort of the development of from Crevar that we've been looking for a while, is at the top and at the higher levels being able to more consistently put people away.
Yeah.
This sequence and this looked like what I would expect from someone at Crevar's level.
Yeah.
If you are grabbing it, you are consistently like going through cycles, you are forcing them only to defend.
Yeah.
Like Julie was just forced to defend over and over and over and over and never even got a chance to really put up a lot of counter offense because she would escape. Crevar would immediately go to the next sequence. And it was like, this is what it should look like at the highest levels when you have someone in the top 20 versus the best person in the world.
Yeah.
And so it was a nice benchmarking match for Crevar because we have some questions because for the last 2 years, Crevar's only been going up against like the best in the world.
Well, and what I realized is I think everybody else she's gone against.
Yeah.
Like, I think why they're going to 17 is because she's gone against everybody else.
You've filled out, you've defeated a lot of people in your division, or now people are in different organizations. It's hard to make the matchups at who's number one. Again, it was a very impressive title defense for Crevar. As we put in a chat, no notes.
Yep.
I just like it was exactly what I would have hoped for the development of Crevar to get. She finishes the Aoki in a brutal way, high up, chest drive on it. We're seeing more and more people finish Aoki locks. It is really the lock that has come to prominence, I think, the most in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, it was a thing. Like, Shinya Aoki makes it famous years ago.
Yeah.
But now, like...
Well, then everybody started doing heel hooks, but then everybody started getting really good at getting out
the defense got leveled up, and now it's like... And now we're back to the straight ankle lock.
Yeah.
And this CJI cycle on CJI 2, everyone's like, yep, all the camps are like, and ankle lock time for control it is. Yeah. And we will now figure out how to break it from that position. Yeah. So it makes sense, you know, given that New Wave and B Team, or Simple Man, were leaning back into the ankle locks, that she would have developed a very, very good Aoki lock. And here it is. Next match that made me sad this weekend. Sandy Ribeiro versus Faris Ben Lankadam.
Lankadam.
This is kind of what we previewed.
Okay, we have to stop 1 second. Did you see Sanji's entire corner in leather jackets?
I love it. They always like that.
They were.
It's
Oh,
Lovato and
do
Victor
they
Hugo.
always?
That's kind of what Lovato and Victor Hugo wear.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
That's kind of what they. Yeah,
I've never paid attention to them on the sidelines before, and they kept on looking at them. I was like, dude, they look like gangsters.
They're kind of our gangsters.
Like it's a weird. Like I was like, holy shit,
That's a good look.
They were like all in these like leather jackets and like white sneakers and like it was a look.
It was a look. For
it was
sure.
a look.
But that's always what Lovato wears.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is the funniest is there's a picture of Lovato, like he's got like Sanji by like the neck, like the shoulder. He's like fucking grabbing him, and he's like smiling.
Oh,
like,
I know.
Super excited when Victor Hugo wins the world title.
Yeah.
And he's like, and it's a great picture of like Lovato just super intense and happy, and looking at his coach Sanji and like super and happy, intense because his student Victor Hugo has won this world title. And whenever I see Hugo and Lovato together, especially cornering a guy like Sanji, they're their coach.
Yeah.
I always think of the meme that I've always wanted to make, which is find someone who looks at you the way that Lovato looks at Sanji when Victor Hugo wins the world title, because it's just such like an intent. You can tell those guys have a really good relationship and bond together. That being said, Sanji's got a little older. And I think my biggest takeaway in this match with Fares is Sanji was great in singular bursts that Fares weathered.
Yeah.
And then had sustained offense and countered. He'd force the guard. He would force Sanji to take a back shot and be able to circle. He would force Sanji into bottom to work into deep half. And then Sanji would try to explode up. Fares would push him off, come back down, and then back into the guard. Yeah. He would try to pass. He would almost pass Sanji, the impassable guard, would go to the turtle. Fares would cover and then force Sanji back through the guard.
Yeah.
And that was the landscape of the entire match. And it really just seemed like my biggest takeaway wasn't necessarily like a technical one. It was, Sanji's on all the right spots, but he just doesn't have the gas in a lot of these spots. He has a really good, and to his credit, an amazing like explosive drive. There was an early takedown. Yeah. There was one deep half sequence that was like, I was impressed at how quickly Sanji's not a small guy.
Yeah.
Got to his knees and started to drive up. Fares just recognized it, pushed down, teched out, just like did very, very present defense. And then force Sanji back into the guard, and then force Sanji to be playing a defensive guard and not really being able to get a whole lot off of either the knee shield open range guard, or when Fares would get further back, like force Sanji into the deep half, Sanji could never really get anything going, because when he would go to explode, Fares would be ready for it. He would push it down and then go back in a top position. Yeah. And that was sort of...
That was the match.
That was the match. That was the entirety of the match, and it was just...
And them trying to push each other off the mat.
Yeah, well, there was that too at the beginning. If I skipped all of that, it was that was really my only takeaway for the match, was that Sanji had amazing moments, but the overwhelming majority of the match was him defending the pass attempts from Fares and defending the back take attempts from Fares. Like that was the majority of the time. And it was a very clear win for Fares here. Yeah. And then there was huge boos because you're in Austin. Yeah. Where Sanji's jamming. And then Sanji gave a heart, and the crowd was a little nicer.
3/4 of the room is...
is the Sanji guys. But...
It's the Explain people.
It was a late replacement match, which makes sense. Yeah. I do want to see Sanji, if he's going to, remain on who's number one, I want to see him matched more appropriately for guys around
this was a last minute replacement.
Yeah, and it makes sense, but it was also it kind of looked like a last minute replacement of you have a younger guy that can push a hard pace. Yeah. And Sanji's 44. Yeah. 11-year age gap between the two guys. You have a guy that's generally speaking still in his athletic prime, versus Sanji, who has world title wins from 07, 05, earlier than that.
He weathered a lot more than he didn't. He kept it going for the whole match.
He did. In bursts.
Yeah, in bursts. But I mean, that was more than I really thought that would happen. I thought Fares would just put a pace on him, and he would at some point just not be able to. Yeah,
I was hoping that wouldn't happen. I was happy it didn't.
Sanji kept up with him. He just wasn't able to really get anything going because he couldn't really like
you couldn't match the pace
Yeah.
for any length of time to sort of force Theris into a defensive reaction that he had to like capitalize off of.
And Sanji has a game that has been the same for a very long period of time. So things are telegraphed. It's not like you're going to be like, deep half.
I didn't know he was going to go there.
What do I do with deep half? You
Right.
know, because
You've seen it. You've studied him. You've bought his instructionals, and you've watched what he's done. And now he's trying to do it to you. And you're like, oh, I've seen you do this for 20 years.
Yeah.
For the entirety of me doing the sport, I've seen you do this. I now know what I'm looking for, and like I know where I need to block and stop you. So, made me sad. But again, great win for Varus. Next match, we have Gabby Pisana versus Paige Yvette. Went as we previewed it.
yes,
Pisana on the bottom. If she can get on top, great sweeps. Gets on the top with Yvette. They get into a bunch of protracted footlock battles, and it really hammered home what we talked about last week, that I am really concerned about the development of Pisana's footlock game, because Paige was outsized here, but was clearly the one that had a greater degree of competency when it came to the transitions in the footlocks. Again, also Paige has much more experience in nogi than Pisana. This is Pisana's debut in nogi for super fights. In nogi, we've seen Paige on Who's Number One alone for years, but on Fight to Win, on Subversive, like we've seen Paige for a long time up in the colored belts, into that black belt in nogi and ADCC. But the Pisana takes this on pressure and on positioning. I do think if Pisana runs into another heavyweight woman that has good footlocks in nogi in a super fight, she is going to have problems, because it seems like she does not have super high level answers for a lot of the entries that Paige was putting on. She would like clear and she would push out. She would clear and push out. She would escape and push out. And she would use it positionally, which was good. But the level of like diversity of game and ability to play through the footlocks did not look like someone at Pisana's level. And that's a little concerning if now she's going into the super fight at heavyweight nogi. Somebody will be able to exploit that most likely. And I'm just curious if that will happen. So it is exactly what we expected. Pisana has a great guard that she was able to use on top. Pressure's down on Yvette. Yvette does a very good job, does not get submitted. Really knows where Pisana wants to be, but isn't able to put up enough of a pace to get back onto top and to put Gabby in enough defensive positions. So, do you have any other takeaways there?
Nope.
Yeah, man, I'm concerned about the footlocks Gabby was getting away with. Versus the smaller women in her division, just that open leg boot through on the ankle lock. I think that will run out of effectiveness in the next 2 years, and if she doesn't develop that, it is going to be a huge weakness that's going to lead to the back takes a la Gordon and Pena back in the day,
if she stays in nogi.
The money's in nogi, man. I think she'll stay in nogi. That's where the money is. If you're not making your debut, she's not she's a younger black belt. It makes sense, but it is there's some concerning technical holes there with the way that she addresses that.
But you can still make money doing
winning the crown,
and doing
Abu Dhabi World Pro,
BJJ
Stars, BJJ Bet if they come back. That's a good point.
There's enough, or what the other one, the cage one.
Karate Combat?
No, the
ADXC. Yeah, she's been at ADCC before. So you're right.
You can find ways to make money, especially someone who's international.
And the stature of Pisana, like she has a bunch of world titles, like undefeated in the gi for 3 years now or something like that. Or no, Profero beat her last year.
Like once.
But once, and then she's beaten Profero 3 or 4 times since then in commanding fashion. So it was kind of what we expected. Pisana played her cards right here. Next match, we had Alvartaza versus Chris Wojcik. Back and forth positional work from both guys. Both guys want the footlock. Both guys want the footlock. Both guys are incredibly hard to footlock.
Both guys want sort of almost the same position.
So
it's almost like they're really good at the same thing. So they know how to counter the same thing.
And that was the entirety of the match. It was, you want what I want, and I know how to not give you what you want. And then the match just ends. And you're like, okay, well, that was Taza was a little more successful in those sequences.
Yeah.
A little more successful positionally.
Yeah, but Chris Wojcik wins. Chris Wojcik won.
That was really.
Yep. That's what it says.
Well, that's fine. No, I believe you.
And
I just
I'm almost
in my head I
positive-
had that as Taza.
No, I am as positive that I remember that correctly too.
I obviously remember that incorrectly. So that was my take on the match. Of it was a lot of mirrored positions. Where Wojcik,
Yeah.
Wojcik. Okay, Wojcik is more active and aggressive, and wins that.
Well,
That was really. I mean, for me, that was. I don't have really any other takeaways. It was both guys are very known quantities now.
Wojcik also has a wrestling game that
That Taza doesn't
Yeah.
want to leverage. Taza
Yeah.
has a wrestling game too. He just never chooses to leverage it.
Yeah.
Which is always so wild to me because it's like you watch when he's forced to wrestle. It's not like watch him in finals at ADCC trials.
Yeah.
He can do it every time. He out wrestles when he wins those divisions. He out wrestles the guys he wins in the finals there. So it's just every super fight he almost never does it. So, that's that. I obviously got it wrong. Next match. You have anything else on that one?
Nope.
Next match we had Felipe Costa versus Abe La Montaña. I can never get his
Montaña.
Abe Montaña. Abe beefy. Abe
Yeah.
looked jacked for this matchup.
He's always been beefy.
I always forget he's as big and strong as he is. This was a really interesting back and forth match because it was Felipe Costa being very comfortable from the guard, being forced into the guard by Abe a lot of times,
Yeah.
and like either making a bad pull, like trying to go out and do a throw by, trying to do something big, and then play through the guard. And Abe having good success, pressuring through, pushing to the guard, and then Felipe Costa gets his back.
Yeah.
And then Abe, great defense, gets out, and then pressures through. So it's these weird, sustained moments of Abe being the aggressor, putting pressure on, forcing defensive reactions from Costa, and then Costa gets his back.
Yeah.
And so it's such a weird one to score because there's basically 2 points that Felipe Costa, before the finish, there's 3 total, but 2 earlier in the match that Felipe Costa gets Abe's back.
Yeah.
And it's essentially...
And I wonder if it's like Abe goes to do reverse guard, and they just watched reverse guard long enough. They were like, okay, you can just spin to the back when he tries to do that.
Maybe. I don't... It was
Like,
just... He was going through the guard. It was like he
Yeah.
was trying to pass. It was really... It was so interesting because it was huge moments of the match where Abe is like winning.
Yeah.
And then they would call judges' favor. And it would be like Costa. And it was like, oh yeah, he had his back earlier. And like they're in kind of a neutral position. And I would say Abe is winning this like minor exchange, but winning it for a sustained period of time. And then Felipe Costa gets the back, gets a good shot at the back, gets positional work on the back for a minute, and then back to kind of neutral. And it was such a weird, it was like, oh yeah, so if there's 2 times where judges' favor is called for Costa when Abe is like being like the aggressor for like 2 minutes of the match. So it was very funny to kind of look at that, but in the greater context of like the positional game that they're calling. And then towards the end, my big takeaway for this is that it looked like Abe kind of got tired. Like Costa gets his back again, and then Abe just doesn't seem to have the gas to make the shoulder turn to face out to get out of the reverse triangle.
It is like a 15-minute match.
It's a long match.
Which is a long match.
I think we're like 13 or 14 minutes in. This is late into the match, I think, is when the sub happens. And then Felipe Costa is nice. He's long. He pulls his leg through, like beautiful reverse triangle setup. And then it really gets the arm. He gets the tap as Abe's arm comes up, and Abe's arm extends. And Abe like aggressively taps. But that was it. It really looked like the finish just came for what Costa was doing to get the back. He'd shuck by. He'd gotten the back a couple of times, sort of in a similar way off of the passing Abe was doing. And then, Abe just sort of doesn't have the gas to do what he'd been doing and just impose that forward pressure game. Costa gets the arm triangle.
Yep.
Well, not the arm triangle. The reverse triangle from the back, but he really gets the arm lock, the arm bar off of it. It was fun. It was interesting kind of dynamics in the match to get us there. Miranda and I have a bunch of disagreements on undercard, what a Kayotero lock is in our notes. It was great.
Yeah, Grayson Henley hits. They have it as a heel hook. To me, it looks more like a heel hook, but it could have been a Kayotero lock. But I can't see an actual straight shot.
There's
of it.
another shot. I swear to God, it looks. You can see it better.
I swear I saw it over the weekend, and that's what kind of also annoys me because I remember seeing it and being like, "Ha, that's awesome," and then like going by it, but now I can't find it. But yeah, Jocelyn Molina's was also in an undercard match. She's a 13-year-old that looks scary as hell.
That can't be right.
Nah, she's 13 years old, dude. 13.
I said that, but
She's an orange belt.
that's. Man, our time's come.
She's in the kids. She was in ADCC, the kids,
I know.
like the
kids
championship.
The kids championship.
That chick looks scary. Katie that she went against is a strong lady.
Yeah, Boscher
Yeah.
is strong.
Yeah.
like an adult woman.
She was like a power lifter at one point in her career, and I've had her choke me. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how. Yeah, I don't.
So Julie Molina hits a Darce choke in that. We have Grayson Henley defeating Michael Branach via heel hook, and we have Michael Fritz defeating Shawn Magnus by heel hook. This was a very submission heavy Who's Number One,
which is good.
which is great, which I like. We watched this after during my class, not during my class, like after my class at the gym. We were cleaning up the gym, and our buddy had the phone up, and I was like cleaning the gym, watching, cleaning the mat, watching, and it was good. So that does it for Who's Number One. Very submission heavy. Let's move on to a real quick recap of Asian and Oceanic trials. This one happened in Bangkok, Thailand. Puzzle mats on concrete.
Yeah.
That's not a good look, guys.
The other thing is, I wonder if some of these matches would have been a little bit different if they didn't have to stop people from putting their heads through the concrete.
Yeah, they were so ADCC has the splash zone rule.
Yeah.
Which is what I call it, and no one else calls it that.
Yeah.
There's no edge of the mat. You can go off the mat if you're gonna take a guy down.
But this one they had.
This I like that you're allowed to do that in ADCC.
Yeah.
I like that wasn't the case for this one.
Yeah.
It's not really in the rules for ADCC. Like they shouldn't have been stopped.
Yeah.
But man, I do not want to see a guy come into the concrete.
Yeah.
Like it's not, for my love of the sport, it is not worth it to watch an athlete take a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
For my love of the game.
Well,
so I'm very happy that the referee kept it really close onto the mat the entire time. And even if there was some bad resets,
Yeah.
I would much rather have that than have athletes fight.
I will say this because I think we said this wrong, or at least we didn't say it earlier when we were talking about Lachlan Giles.
Mm-hmm.
He actually did not. He hit like, it's like a lateral kneebar, but he called it like the Lachlan lock.
The Lachlan lock?
The
Man,
lock or something.
You retire,
like that.
man, I'll give it to you.
He did a video of it, but he did the video of it on the floor in the warm-up area of ADCC Asian trials, and it was literally on concrete. They didn't have warm-up
I saw that too, yeah, man.
I know we said
I don't know what the hell's going on,
Yeah.
but like that's having just been to U.S. trials,
Yeah.
and there's like a warm up area, and that's like the ADCC is odd because all of the regional trials are done under that regional management for ADCC, so that arm of ADCC. So like, although Flow has the broadcast contract with the overall ADCC organization, like Mo
and there's a
runs,
lot, and there's a lot of the same people
yes.
at them.
But a lot of the ownership,
Yeah.
not the ownership, a lot of the running of it is for that, like Bangkok, like the head for Thailand is most likely the runner for this ADCC
Yeah.
trials or decided to have it there. Like Mo was the US guy.
Yeah.
And is now the trials guy for ADCC East Coast trials and West Coast trials, but previously it was Tom DeBlas.
Yeah.
They ran East Coast trials. And so between West Coast trials and East Coast trials, they would be run very differently because you have different tournament organizers running them, kind of how they see fit for their region. Whoever is running this region needs to no longer be running this region.
Yeah.
Like it is unacceptable in 2025
Unless
to
they-
have guys on
yeah.
puzzle mats.
The
It's
only
not. It's not acceptable.
the only thought was maybe they weren't supposed to use those mats. They had other mats and something happened.
I don't
But-
know, but
But if Fight Circus can have their ring get hit by a wildebeest,
it was a water buffalo.
a water buffalo,
Their truck carrying the ring hit a water buffalo
Yeah,
and
and then-
only delayed their event by 3 hours.
yes, and still come in and have all their shit,
In Thailand, by the way.
yeah, then they should be able to
Yeah.
get regular mats.
It really is unacceptable to have pro guys fighting for a world championship slot on 2 layers of puzzle mats on concrete. Like from a safety perspective, it's just unacceptable. We have mats. We have the tech now. We have the infrastructure in place. If you cannot provide that level of safety to the athletes, you can't be running a trials.
Yeah.
You got to run it in Sydney. You got to run in Japan, where we've seen other regions, Asian Oceanic trials, run properly. This is like not acceptable. This is going to what we dealt with in China for ADCC back when they ran in China. Like this is not acceptable for athlete safety in 2025. So that's my piece. But let's talk about the matches. Let's start with the big names here. Kenta Iwamoto versus Isaac Michel.
Why do we have to like jump around? I hate jumping around.
Then let's start with the under 66 kilo division.
Sorry,
Miranda.
I like to be in order because if not, then we forget shit because we jump around.
Both those are your names. You got to read now.
Okay, we had Ryoma and Raku versus Bezkat Kapashov.
And this is why I wanted to start with 77 because I can do most of the
That's okay.
the 77 names.
I'll butcher people's names. Ryoma wins a decision. He was at a club that was called It was
Badass Motherfucker.
Yep.
Which
I was gonna
like
say
that.
BAMF, but you know.
This is an uncensored podcast.
But anyway,
mostly.
yeah.
He's a purple belt out of Japan.
Yeah, and it was Backsat.
This is and he's out of
also
Kazakhstan.
he was also a purple belt. Yeah.
This was a wrestling match between both these guys. I think Roma, the Japanese fella, wins this match in two sequences. One, I think at the end of regulation, he hits like a takedown and a go behind. Yeah. To Bezgat's credit, Kapashov's credit, he immediately turns and like bellies down and bases to like avoid this because it normally would have been a score, but he's able to get down and like in ADCC rules, he blocks the score exactly like he should. And then there's one more sequence in the overtime. There's like a non-scoring entire regulation match. Overtime, also non-scoring, but Akanakaru just has one other sequence where he sort of puts Kasparov down. Yeah. And they kind of fight through it, but it was...
But this is a match that I think may have been a little bit different if they didn't have boundaries.
Yeah, because there's two takedown sequences.
There was a lot of resets that kept on happening because they would get too close to the one edge and they bring them back in.
Yeah. I don't know if it looks any different for the result, but I think this probably goes to the mat more if they're not going to break their knees on polished concrete.
Yeah. So definitely.
I have no other takeaways. That was
Ryoma wins the decision. People online were a little pissy about that, but there's definitely a reason why.
I think it's the right decision. Yeah. Again, in a match where it doesn't go to the ground more than twice and sustained, like you're fighting for a small margin, you can't be mad at that.
Bekzat's hands hit the mat more than Ryoma's hands hit the mat. And that's what you got to go by at that point.
Seth Daniels from Fight to Win said this years ago, and it kind of stuck with me. And I don't necessarily agree with it all the time, but if you're mad about a decision, you should have done more.
Yeah.
And it's like, and again, when you're fighting some of the best guys in the world, it makes sense, but it's also when you have a match that's this close, like you can't be mad. Like you just, if you wanted to really put a stamp on it, you needed to get him down. You needed to change your strategy or tactics to be able to make it happen. And if you couldn't, well, you've played for those small margins, and sometimes you lose on those small margins because the judge sees it a certain way because there wasn't enough information for him to go on.
Yep.
So,
77.
77. I can do these names now. You want to do it?
Nope, you can go.
Kenta Iwamoto versus Isaac Michel, both former trials winners. Kenta at 66, 77, 88.
No, 66 and 77.
Both 177 twice, 166 once. Isaac Michel won 99, 88. Did he win another one?
No, I think he just won 99, 88.
This was, again, another wrestling match. A lot back and forth. No points. There was a really, really nifty sequence. You have a timestamp here. I forget exactly which one it was, but it's basically...
Tell me what it was.
It's the one where they were standing up and Kenta goes from a bottom position, essentially reverses with a shuck by and jumps Isaac's back. And it was just
That's the last one.
That was the last sequence.
The very end.
It was the Uno reverse card sequence, and it was a beautiful sequence from Kenta.
But he can't really get up on his back. Like, he tries.
But the leg hook that he uses in the spiral and, like, the way that he tracks Isaac Michel's hips as he's coming up, as Isaac's standing to come out of the position was just like, it was one of those sequences you went, oh, that was a world-class sequence. That, like, any other guy than Isaac Michel or, like, another top-level guy, you're going to just crush with that sequence to get his back and finish every time. It was a wild sequence that Kenta was able to reverse. Like, essentially, going from Isaac being, is he on the back or is he in the front?
What?
Was Isaac on Kenta's back in the sequence before, or
He was, but he wasn't like there was no points ever.
yeah, it wasn't
put.
settled hard, but like
But,
Kenta
yeah.
to just scramble
No,
out of
they,
this
like,
and get
they,
Isaac's
like,
back was
Uno
wild.
reverse carded it.
It was
went
an
one way to another.
amazing sequence. Isaac gets Kenta down and then hunts for the back for I think a bit of this match, and for me that was the big defining factor was like he was successful enough in the wrestling.
He gets a little bit further. Into things than Kenta was able to at the end.
Kenta's actively defending the back take, whereas Isaac is sort of he shucks off Kenta before he can put it there. I think it's very reasonable that Michelle takes this. I think there's an argument for Kenta, but I think this was pretty clear that Isaac Michelle should have taken this, and he does, which I think it was good. I assume that Kenta is going to win
but another match
the next
that
trials.
I wonder if they didn't have boundaries, what would have happened?
Yeah, when there's so much wrestling there, you kind of got to wonder. So I hope honestly we see Kenta again in Japan.
Yeah,
I would love to see another trials in Japan. Give me an excuse to go out there again. We honestly probably know where the trials are at this point. I can check, but so that was that match. Next, at under anything else on the Kenta versus Isaac match?
Nope.
Under 88 kilos, Joseph Chen versus James Watson. We've talked about Joseph Chen. He's won European trials. Has he won Oceanic trials before? Or just won Europeans?
Just Europeans.
Yeah, he won Europeans. He's placed before at all of them. Dude, Joseph, this was a clinic.
Yeah.
This was Joseph Chen with a takedown, with top position, with the not passing at will, but just beautiful passing sequences over and over again. He just times. Joseph Chen has amazing timing.
Yeah.
And he waits for James Watson to regard and then gets in front of it, pushes down, pushes the top knee down from the knee shield, flops over to north-south. He hits 3 or 4 different passes around James Watson. James Watson can recover a couple of them. Joseph Chen passes once right into mount. Then he doesn't like the mount position that he's in, so and he scores it.
Yeah.
He lets James Watson regard him to just pass again into a better position, and then scores it again. And it was just beautiful to watch the way that Chen is looking at the defense that James Watson is giving him, where he will sort of like figure out the regard that James Watson wants to do, and then he will start to let the regard happen, and then he will counter the regard into a pass. And I love this because this is a lot of like how I like to play and kind of build my own game. So it's awesome for me to watch a guy like Joseph Chen who's pushed this to the highest levels and like, okay, cool, what can I kind of watch for how he is identifying the sequences, how he is selecting his passing. Is he going to go tripod passing here? Is he going to go low? Is he going to go body lock? Like, where is the space? And he'd really kept a middle space in most of this match. He would never let James Watson get underneath him. He was very diligent with the ability to fight the head, fight the body and the chest forward. And then
he tried to do what my coach calls the schmeekiel. It's a smothering Ezekiel at one point. And I sent him a message. I was like, hey, just Chen tried the schmeekiel today. We all hate the schmeekiel.
It's not the best. It's terrible.
And you hear Deem in the background. He's like, choke him. Yeah.
But it was
smother him was
it was great with the German accent.
Yeah, it's great.
What I loved about this was Chen at this point is up, I think 12-0.
Yeah.
With less than 15 seconds left.
Yeah.
And I went, and with about 30 seconds left, I was like, okay, there is not a chance that James Watson has to finish this match. Like, you're not going to sub Chen in that much time. Yeah. He's learned from the Lucas Barbosa match, like, to not take his foot off the gas. Like, it's just not a mistake. That given everything we know about Chen and the way that he competes and constructs his game, it is not a mistake that he is going to make.
Yeah.
So, is he going to, most guys, almost everyone,
are going to chill.
Yeah. You're up, you're going to chill. But Chen, because he learned from that mistake, I'm guessing, with Hulk and CGI1, he kept his foot on the gas. And I went, something about this, watching, I was like, something about this, I think Chen is going to keep hunting for the sub. There's 30 seconds left. I think he's going to keep hunting. Because he makes a motion where he passes in a way where he's in like a cross-side body position, like almost like a staple crucifix.
Yeah.
From the top. Normally in that spot, you're going to level down, you're going to hook the head, you're going to settle, and you're going to open your hips up wide so they can't get their leg back in. Or maybe at best, they will cover a half guard and you'll stall out 30 seconds. Chen goes there, and then I watched him, his chest comes up, and I went, oh, you're really going to gun for this. You're really going to keep going. Passes him out, finishes the Kimura with like less than 15 seconds left. And I just went, it was wild to watch him be up 12 points and just decide like, yep, I've learned from this most likely. And I'm not going to take my foot off the gas. And so it's like, the sky is the limit for Chen, man.
Yeah.
I think he wins ADCC. Maybe not this year, but eventually.
Well, at 88 too, that's a better. It's probably not a big cut for him.
He seems strong for it.
Yeah, he's strong for it. He has the size for it.
Yeah. I thought Isaac was bigger than him. It's wild to have Isaac at 77 and Chen at 88.
Probably cut a bunch of weight to make that weight.
I think Isaac had to have cut the weight. Because Kenta used to be a 66er. Kenta's bulked up a lot, but Isaac still looked bigger than Kenta. But Kenta's also not a big 77er either. So it'll be interesting.
James Watson looked like an Australia Dante Leon.
A little
Just
bit.
wanted to tell everybody that.
It's in our notes.
I see him and I'm like, is that Dante
Australian
Leon?
Dante Leon?
No, it's Australian Dante Leon.
So beautiful match from Chen.
Yeah.
Any other takeaways you have? Go back and watch. Go back and watch this match.
Yeah, no, it's a good match. It's a lot of him camping, doing like the camping passing where he like uses his head and kind of moves around like that. And then a lot of stuff from Crucifix. They do there's a whole cut of like all of his matches in a row that you can watch. It's interesting.
I wish
the end.
They should put that together for every single finalist.
Well,
honestly,
they did almost they did 3.
3 of 9.
So there's possible
3 of 8 for this one.
Yeah, there's possibly that more come out later, but there's 3 that I saw and that I watched.
They're always great. I always love watching the trial because you just get to tab through I would love honestly for them to do it for first and second.
Yeah.
So that I could see both guys' runs, and then you meet in the finals, and that's great. But they typically only do it for first for the big names. I would love to see it. They're not very hard to produce. If you have the video files, it would probably take somebody less than 40 minutes. Sorry, probably less than 20 minutes. To put those matches together and then export it. I would love to see it. Moving on to under 99, we have Mansour
Hanoff.
Makhanoff versus Tito John Carl.
Yep. Mansour was in the ADCC World Championships in 2024 after he won the Asian trials.
Yep, he won the second Asian trials, I think.
Yep.
And
the 5'11" 2024 trials.
He got Luke Griffith.
Yeah.
Rear naked choked like Pena did this, like in the finals of that. He runs into John Carl in this one.
Tito.
Yeah,
I mean, he might go by John, but
I think he probably goes by Tito. Your first name's Tito, you probably go by Tito.
And if you're like that big of a man,
you're a big dude.
You're going by Tito.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Black
belt from Australia. He was in the Giles trials and he lost to, is it Uros?
Uros Skulin.
Yeah.
So that's why he wasn't in CGI too, because he loses to Uros.
It seems like Tito, when I went through his record, he has a lot of losses to Saunders and
Josh Saunders.
Yeah,
who wasn't in this trials at plus 99, which I thought was really odd.
And Kulin. They were the 2 guys that seemed to beat him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good that he got an armbar.
This was quick. This was a wild finish too, because he basically goes Choi bar. And then he doesn't get the Choi bar because Mansour goes to stack him out. And then you see Tito just go, nah, and just pulls the arm straight through like a regular armbar from the guard, but the hard way.
Yeah.
Where you're still where the guy can normally just kind of yank his arm through and he's just sitting in the guard and you're sideways.
Yeah.
But Tito's strong enough where he just kind of yanks the arm anyway and gets the tap. And I went, dude, this is one of the reasons I do like under 99, over 99, because you just see stuff like this where it's dude, a guy at 88 isn't strong enough to do that.
Yeah.
But a guy 99 can go hey, man, I'm going to leverage the skill set that I bring to this table, and it can do some wild stuff.
And it was a jumping guard attack, too.
For a big man, it was impressive.
It was impressive.
And so he gets it pretty quick, 3 minutes or something like that, into the match. Very fun. Anything else on this?
Nope.
It was very quick once it went to the mat.
Yeah.
Next one, we had Anton Maneko versus Nicholas Magalik. Magalik. We've talked about both these guys a little bit before. Maneko is usually in the finals for trials here. Magalik, I forget when the last time we talked about him was. It had to have been at trials.
It looked like he had done a lot of like gi-ish things.
Okay.
Gi-ish things. But he also does a lot of, he was in a lot of more local tournaments.
Okay. Maneko looked amazing on top here. Takes him down. And I was like, okay, Maneko's putting heavy pressure down. And Anton Maneko's been around for a while and been a top level guy for a while.
And Nicholas likes the tornado sweep,
which is so funny.
Which is a wild sweep, and he had hit it on like so many people, like because he also has a highlight thing of him hitting the tornado sweep on people.
He sets up the finish here, so Anton's putting heavy pressure. I was like, okay, this is Anton's game. Anton looks really good here, and then Nicholas just goes to kind of throw a variation of the tornado sweep, like underhook, like a la every time Cyborg ever threw it. And he sort of just chucks an armbar off, Anton tacks down for it. Nicholas goes high on the guard.
Okay.
And then just chucks an armbar.
He goes for a triangle.
Oh, this is the triangle armbar one.
This is the triangle armbar
Yeah.
The other one is the other one.
Yep, you're right.
This one, he pulls him down. He gets like they call him like diamond.
The diamond position.
Yeah, whatever. Like a loose triangle. And he's trying to like fix that, and then just goes for the arm.
And it's a pretty quick finish, but from basically Anton having the initiative, so it's nice to see a guy basically come back from having the initiative taken from him.
They were also given, and only because I remember Nicholas being in the beginning of one of the other videos.
He's in a very distinct rash guard combo.
Yes, but
you
they
can tell
gave them,
who he is.
instead of giving them belts, they gave them rings.
It's kind of badass.
They had like this big, it looked like diamond, like almost like a Super Bowl ring. They gave them.
I don't know. An ADCC belt would be cool. I would wear an ADCC ring.
Yeah,
I won trials.
The thing was ginormous.
I would wear that. I would absolutely wear that. My wife wouldn't appreciate it, but I would wear that. She'd be like, "Why are you wearing that?" I'm like, "Because I want it. I want to see trust." She go. Oh, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
I was like, "You were there. You watched it." So, moving on. That's all the men's matches. Weirdness with the ladies' matches. So, because this is the first trials of a region, it is non-qualifying for the women.
Yep.
As a result, registrations were very low. They were so low. It looks like there were no participants in plus 65 kilos. We've kind of checked that, double-checked that.
Yeah.
There were no matches. There are no results. They may have been incorporated into the women's under 65, but that doesn't make any sense. So,
in all honesty, like if you were alone in one of those divisions, like what's the benefit to going all the way out there
to Thailand?
And,
why would you fly all the way over to Thailand?
Unless you're from Thailand, why would you be there?
Right, but again, there are women at plus 65 that are Thai women.
Yeah,
that's uncommon. So yeah, I don't know if we have missing information here, but it was odd. For the women's under 55 kilogram finals, we can't find the match. We spent about 35 minutes before in the pre-show. We looked at all the matches that are available and parted out. It's Faye Ikeda versus Iris Liu. The matches aren't parted on a flow. We looked at everything from mat 1, 2, and 3, which were all the mats that are available on Flow Grappling. We found the women's final match for the under 65 kilogram division, Laura Dempsey versus Zhu Xin Shi. That match is there. We cannot find the women's under 55 kilogram final. We have results for it, but if someone does have it, I would love to find results. It's listed as a points win from what I have. I think you have it as a sub win.
I have it as a sub win.
So we have different results here, but we cannot find the match, which is unfortunate. It might have happened earlier in the day because the women's under 65 kilogram final happened like 2+ hours before the men's finals started. So before the end of the event, I don't really know what happened. We don't have it. The one women's match we do have is under 65 kilograms, Laura Dempsey versus Zhu Xin Shi. This was an interesting guard pull from Jew early in the match that was pulled long enough to get the negative.
Yeah.
And I went, she like tries to pull Laura Dempsey down. isn't successful with it, and doesn't pop up fast enough. It's a weird, like Laura almost stays down long enough to get the negative, but also seems like she kind of wants to get out of it. So it's this weird sequence where Ju sort of takes the negative almost for no reason.
Yeah.
It was like, that was an odd tactical decision here to make.
But it might have been that she was trying to jump for an arm or something
It looked like there was something that kind of went awry, but
Yeah.
Laura Dempsey capitalized on it to kind of force the negative for Ju here. And then Laura hits a takedown that Ju doesn't really fight too hard.
Yeah.
Ju works from the bottom.
But that's before points.
That's before points, so it's not, so it's non-scoring. So the funny thing I think for ADCC is because of the overlay that they use for the scoring, which I love so much better than the old ones we used to have. It's still not programmed in to have a negative.
Yeah.
So to show if there are no points on the board and someone has a negative, they list it as a penalty, which is really funny. But if you look at the broadcast screen that's next to the mat side, that can have a negative.
Yeah.
So Ju at one point has a big -1 for score, but on the broadcast screen it's listed as a penalty.
Yeah.
And then when she scores like late in the match, about a minute and a half left in the match, she scores a sweep from the guard from the bottom, gets on top, and then she's up to 1 point.
Yeah. Because we were like, how is it 1?
Because we were like trying to find the rest of the matches, and we came across this one again, and like, oh, it's just 1 point. I was like, how do you get 1? I was like, it must have been a negative. You had to get a negative
Naga
somewhere.
is the only place that I know that gives 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point for submission attempts.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. This weekend was so funny with Naga. Like I had to ask referees. I was like, hey, man, after the match would happen, I would like, hey, ref, can I talk to you for a second? I'd ask them, like, hey, I saw this happen. What's this here? And they were very kind to me to explain. I was like, thank you very much. And then we'd move on. But it's such an odd rule set.
Yeah.
And because we've been doing so much ADCC, I was like, oh, God, the 1 point. But it's only a nogi.
It's only a nogi, and then they also give you points for side control, which really is passing points, but the way it's explained is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. So that was, Ju takes this with 1 point, and it's not a winner, not a qualifier. I don't know for the other regions if they give them an entry into the second one. I know that's only for I know for the U.S. trials they do it. I don't know if that's for the other regions.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because I
thought that was a benefit of U.S. trials. If that was something
that's a U.S. trials thing.
Yeah.
I know that because Mo and Tom pay for that.
Yeah.
I think out of pocket is what they were doing for years.
I mean, is it really out of pocket though?
I mean,
it's probably a write-off, really.
I hope it is.
You know.
Get the ladies there. If they win, get the ladies there. So that was it. That was the trials. An odd trials for sure. Definitely the smallest trials we've covered in a couple of years now. So I'm curious where the second Asian Oceanic trials is going to be. And I'm curious who Kento will face in the finals.
Yes.
Really is what I'm looking at. So that's it. Next week, anything else on what we've covered on the recap?
Nope.
Next week, we got the UFC BJJ. We got some banger matchups coming up. We got Andrew Tackett versus Eliza Dorsey headlining it. We have William Tackett versus Ronaldo Jr. co-main eventing it for the middleweight title. His brothers in the main event for the welterweight title. Raquel Canuto versus Ara Laverne. Maisa Bastos versus Tubby Aliquin, Amanda Aliquin.
The Raquel Canuto match is a championship too.
It's featherweight championship. Hell yeah. Renato Canuto versus Alan Sanchez, welterweight. Sam Nagai versus Dorian Alvarez.
Yeah, that I don't know what that's going to be because Dorian is somebody who could go against Baby Shark because both of them move like super fast.
Love it. We have Andy Varela versus Robbie Maloff. We have Bella Mir versus Rana Wilnick. We have Landon Elmore versus Nate Hernandez. And we have Lucas Pinero versus Jussier Formiga, another guy who unretired.
Yeah, that's an interesting one right there.
So, again, our show is already running a little bit long already, Miranda. Let's do a little bit because I think some of these matchups were worth discussing. We didn't talk about any of this on the pre-show, so this is going to be off rip, and you love
I
no notes.
Non-planned things.
You love no notes. So, Andrew Tackett versus Eliza Dorsey.
Andrew Tackett. I'm not going to go against Andrew Tackett.
Not picking against Andrew Tackett unless it's maybe Mika Galvao.
Yeah.
And even then.
Well, and William Tackett was discussing, like, he was on the Simple Man podcast at one point, and he was discussing how the difference between him and his brother is Andrew just kind of pulls shit out of nowhere and does it, where William pays attention to what he's doing and he slowly does things. And William basically said that most of Andrew's losses have come from when he wasn't there to like be like, dude, don't do that thing, you know, and
That's
get
so funny.
and get knee-barred in the last 5 seconds of their match, you know. So
the problem I think with the Dorsey match, is that Dorsey doesn't play enough at pace.
Yeah.
I think Andrew Tackett is going to... Elijah's great. Elijah's an amazing counter fighter as well. But I think with the pit, it plays against Dorsey's game, and I do not think he will be able to control Andrew for long enough.
And the other thing is Elijah's really good at like outgaming people.
Yes.
And
one of the best in the world.
And I don't know if Andrew Tackett can be gamed because I don't think he knows what he's doing half the time.
There's not enough... Not that there's not enough game, but like you said, it is so you can't predict what he's going to do because it's not predictable.
Because then he's like, I got this choke. I never done this before. I did it today.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like, so he's not a guy. And for Dorsey and the TLI guys, like they work so well off of game planning and tactics and adjustments. Like when you have a guy like that, Dorsey's just going to have to lever into what he's, hey man, I'm going to force you into my game and slow you down and pull you into a mistake. And Tackett will make mistakes, but I do not think they will be egregious enough that Dorsey will be able to catch him for it.
Yeah.
And I think that Andrew Tackett is going to be just the bulldozer for this entire match.
Yeah.
And just put up a heavy pace on Dorsey.
I agree.
And take a clean win. I don't know if he can sub Dorsey. It wouldn't surprise me if he did, just because he's going to throw so much at Dorsey.
Yeah.
But I think I would be surprised if Dorsey can game Tackett into pulling him into the game he wants to play. Yeah. Next one, William Tackett versus Ronaldo Jr.
This can be a really boring match.
Yeah, this could go either way.
This could go really interesting or really boring.
If Ronaldo likes to work at pace, it could be fun. William's going to work at pace, but
if Ronaldo just slows William down, then it's going to be a not.
And I think you can draw William into a more slow-paced match. Yeah. Ronaldo's big. He's tall. They're similar in age, honestly. And Ronaldo, honestly, probably has the greater gulf of experience. It doesn't really matter. William's won trials twice now. Yeah. William is more credentialed in no-gi, in the big events and the big professional events. Ronaldo...
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't really have a good pick for this one.
No,
I don't really know how their games... Like, I like the functionality of Tackett's game better because I think that I like his submission game better, and I think that he will force Ronaldo to be required to work and not get stalemated in positions where Ronaldo can stalemate you at range.
Yeah.
I think William Tackett's wrestling is good enough where he can force Ronaldo to kind of play the outside judo game. They kind of with Cody Steele. He can force him into that game.
But it can also be to his detriment because of the pit.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can also wrestle really well, hit the pit at a wrong angle, and next thing you know it, you're face planting somewhere.
Yep, and then you're on the bottom, and then you have tight pressure from Ronaldo. So, yeah, I want to go Tackett on this one as well. It'd be cool to see both brothers take the title.
I'll go Ronaldo just to be different.
To be contrarian. He absolutely could take it, but I like Williams' style for the pit better. Next one, we have Raquel Canuto versus Ariel Laverne. Raquel has been hot and cold throughout her career, but recently, man, the last 2-3 years, she's just been looking phenomenal. I think this is a rematch, and I think Ariel beat her last time. While you look that up, we can talk about Maisa Bastos versus Tubby Aliquin. I think this is a rematch. Maisa took this one last time. I think that I'm very curious. I think Maisa is probably no longer with one championship if she's in the UFC roster now, which is interesting because now they probably closed the strawweight division down for the ladies after she beat Danielle Kelly.
Yeah. Which is kind of
I think Bastos
funny
pulls and then spams from the bottom to get the back.
Yeah.
I think Tubby plays outside. I think this is a lot of forward pressure from Aliquin. If Aliquin pulls, I think Bastos, again, is looking to pass. Obviously looking to pass. That's the entire game of the sport we do. But pressuring down. I generally think that Bastos will win on pacing. She will have a couple of sequences where she's able to kind of push Tubby out of her game enough to get her back or get a top position or get something where she can establish that she is dominant and win a judge's decision or get the back to get the choke.
I can't see if they've won against each other or not.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. Canoe and Laverne, is it's an interesting matchup. I've been really high on Laverne recently, but when Canuto was on in like the Fight Pass Invitational events, UFC BJJ, like she's really impressed me recently. Didn't Canuto just lose to
Anna Vieira.
Yeah, baby Vieira.
But
That's what it
besides
was.
that, she's won all the others.
She's been really, really successful. So it's like this is an interesting one to pick.
She went against Amanda Alequin before.
She beat Alquin.
She beat Alequin.
Yeah. So
I don't see her.
interesting. It's interesting. I'm gonna go Raquel because I really like where Raquel's game is going. Watching Ariely take this doesn't surprise me. But I'm really high on Kudo in the FPI has impressed me.
Yeah.
And in
Plus,
her Nogi game.
it's hometown. It's
Yeah,
right
they're
around
comfortable.
the corner. Yeah.
Her and her husband are both here. Let's talk about his match, Raquel Canuto versus Alan Sanchez. Renato, I think, is just going to kind of pull an Andrew Tackett. Just hit you with crazy pace. Alan Sanchez. I keep getting mixed up with Alan Sanchez and Buggy Choke.
No.
That's Renee Souza.
That's Renee.
I don't know why on earth I cannot make those two gentlemen the same
Alan
man.
Sanchez is the one that shows up for fight to win matches, like the New Mexico maybe,
Yeah,
or
okay.
Arizona or one of those Western states.
10th Planet guys there.
Is he 10th Planet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's out
So-
that direction, but he could be California too. But he's definitely
Yeah.
West Coast because we normally see him kind of pop up combat jiu-jitsu too.
Yes. Yeah, I know that's what we've seen on EBI and stuff
Yeah.
as well. I like, this is more so, I like Canuto's game and his pacing for UFC BJJ.
Yeah.
Like, I think that overall, that's why I like Canuto in this matchup, because Canuto is just going to come at you with heavy, fast wrestling. He's going to shoot for stuff. You know, that heel hook win over PJ Barge is aging better and better as time goes on. 2 of them in a row. One at PGF and one at UFC BJJ for their rubber match. I just like Canuto's game, and I like the pacing of his submissions. And I think that he can kind of pull Alan Sanchez into a firefight, that he's going to have the better moments and win the decision here. Let's talk Sam Nagai versus Dorian Alvarez.
Okay.
Again, Dorian Alvarez looked phenomenal at trials. That pacing that he keeps.
I also got, I think I got Alan Sanchez confused with another gentleman that's out that direction. He is 10th Planet. He's California 10th Planet.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, EBI and all the 10th Planet
CJI,
stuff.
EBI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, back
Sam
to...
Nagai keeps a good pace. Dorian Alvarez keeps a crazy pace. I think that Nagai will be willing to play front. Dorian is going to put Nagai down.
Yeah.
With the pit wall, like, you're going to be able to get Nagai down. Nagai has a very, very good guard. If Nagai can catch Dorian with like a Choi bar, something from the bottom, or a triangle,
I don't know.
but I just don't think that
Dorian does...
He's
moves
so hard to get a hold
so
of.
fast, and then on top of that, he doesn't put himself in positions to really have you be able to do things. Like, he's going to go to north-south.
Since
He pulls,
ADCC, his game is different, man.
He does a stupid thing where he pulls your shoulders all, like, I say it's stupid because
it's annoying to deal with.
People have saw it and were like, ooh, we can do this now. And if you go to north-south and you pull the shoulders off the mat, like...
You're just dumb stuck there.
Yeah. And he has those, and Samuel Nagai definitely has more experience
More jiu-jitsu.
in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But maybe not no-gi, because Dorian also wrestles and does everything else under the sun.
Former champs, everything.
So it's kind of like someone who's been around for a bit versus a child.
He's like 19 now.
He's like 19.
But he's won trials when he was still a kid, literally still a kid. I think that the only big X factor for me is that if Dorian takes Nagai down too close to the edge, can Nagai counter and get to Dorian's back? That is my only question, is can he use it?
Who has gotten to Dorian's back?
I don't, and that's my...
I haven't seen anybody get to his back.
I don't think so.
I don't see anybody really do anything to him.
Who had... Yeah, man, he looked good against Pat. I got to pick Dorian, man. I think Dorian's going to win 66
Even against
this
bigger
year.
dudes, like he kept a pace that just they couldn't do.
I
shit
think
to him.
Dorian wins ADCC this year.
Okay.
I don't think anyone, aside from Baby Shark and Mikey. Yeah. I think this matchup, This is lightweight, so this isn't even 35. I don't. Again, there's not a lot of guys right now that I'm going to put over Dorian.
Okay.
I just think he's a monster of the highest order, and guys he can take you down, and now he can pass, and that is all he needs to win in most of our rule sets that exist in this sport. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Andy Varela versus Robbie Maloff.
Robbie Maloff is the Hebrew heartthrob.
Though that's who he is.
Yeah, I had to look him up real quick. Yes, he's the Hebrew heartthrob.
This is a match for Varela that I think is UFC is looking to get Varela back on track. He's a local guy. He's been on a lot of Fight Pass events over the years. He has that lost Andrew Tackett. I think they're looking to get Varela back in contention. Again, not taking nothing away from Robbie Maloff. I think the UFC likes Andy Varela.
Yeah.
And likes the energy and attention that he brings to grappling. I don't know a ton about Robbie Maloff's game.
I'm looking at it. He's been fighting. I mean, he fights MMA too.
What's he in there? What organization?
The Combat League.
Okay.
Maybe.
If Varela,
Ohio Combat League.
Okay. If Varela can get the pacing that he gets on guys that he beats going,
yeah,
he wins. If he can pull Robbie into a wrestling match, I think he wins. If he can do the duck under that he has done so many times to the back to the choke,
yeah,
he wins. I think that is Varela's pathway here to victory.
Yeah.
Next match, any notes?
No, but interestingly, Andy Varela just got signed to do a wrestling match with Jason Nolf at Art RAF.
Okay.
In I don't know where the RAF card is, but the wrestling meaning not pro wrestling like freestyle wrestling.
Yeah. Or folk style, whatever it is this time.
I think
freestyle? Probably
I think
freestyle.
it's freestyle, but
Okay.
I'm still
That'll be fun. We'll watch that.
But yeah, it's on like Fox. It's on like Fox's network or something like that. I watched the last one because it had like a bunch of randoms on it that I wanted to see. But yeah, so he's doing, and it's pure wrestling, and I was like, I wonder if Andy Varela has ever wrestled, because I knew he boxed, but
yeah, he has.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler. My understanding, my understanding is that he wrestled.
Yeah.
I forget where I found that information, but I think he did wrestle at some
I know
level.
he fought, but I didn't know. Yeah.
Next, we also beat fighters. We have Bellamir and Rana Wilnick.
Yeah.
Bellamir impressed the shit out of me in her last matchup.
Yeah.
I like Rana. Damn, Bella impresses me every time I see her.
Yeah.
I don't have more of a technical breakdown than that. We're going long in the show anyway. Landon Elmore versus Nate Hernandez in the featherweight match should be fun. What did we see Landon Elmore in last?
Probably like PGF or one of
That's
those
what it
things.
was. Yeah, he had fun runs on PGF. And then Lucas Pinheiro versus Jussier Formega. Jussier for fights in the UFC, or maybe, I don't know if he still fights in the UFC, but did for years. Might be retired now, might be still active, I don't remember. Pinheiro, former IBJJF world champion. He beat me up one time at an open mat. It was very nice. He was very nice to me and absolutely just worked me over before he won the world title.
Landon Elmore he won.
He's the guy that won the EBI card and heel hooked Keith in the finals.
Yeah,
okay.
That was him.
So, Elmore is just super aggressive out of Kingsway.
And he's like a kid. He's a younger
gentleman. He's young, and he's just aggressive.
But he was on PGF. Good.
Yep, and he just subbed a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm look out for Landon Elmore there out of Kingsway.
And then Lucas Pinheiro versus
Jussier Formega.
Yeah.
I think Pinheiro takes this, but really haven't seen a lot of Pinheiro and Nogi recently.
Yeah.
So if Formega can just pressure on top, that's the pathway there. So
but yeah, it'll be fun.
It will be a very fun card. AGF World Finals are going to be December 12th. ADCC South American Trials are December. Championships. Yeah, that's trials.
That's trials. Yeah.
So
that's with how they're labeling it. They're not labeling as trials for whatever reason. And go up. There's something before this too that I wrote down.
IBJJF Nogi Worlds next week.
Yeah, Nogi Worlds is next.
So we're going to see what we're going to cover, but definitely be UFC BJJ because it's a pro event. And then probably trials as well. We may kick trials into the following week because we're going to get close to Christmas and everything gets kind of tight. So
Well, and we get a little bored.
Yeah,
It gets a little bored too. Gets a little bored too.
So that's it. You went to an Adam Morzinski seminar. I think I'll talk to you about that after.
Yes.
After the show.
Yes, it was
you got
fun.
anything else fun going on this week?
No, I just need some sleep because I felt like I was just driving all over the place.
Yeah, you had a busy couple of days.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's it. Got to coach at Naga. It was fun. We're doing promotion season. My wife gets black belt on December 15th. So that's exciting. So it's been kind of just waiting for that.
My kid finds out if she got into NYU on the 15th.
It's exciting.
Yeah, so it'll be a good day or a bad day. But then a good day. So,
yeah,
you know.
It's real funny.
Lots
There's
of ups and downs.
a bunch of women that all kind of are contemporary with my wife that are all getting black belt in the same 3-week period.
Yeah.
Because our buddy Dave Hill's wife Jill got black belt 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Person we trained with for years, Candace, is getting black belt the day after my wife. My wife's getting black belt Monday. It's just wild to watch all of them get black belt in the same December.
Yeah.
10 plus years after they all white belts together and all compete against each other. So
Yeah, good.
very, very cool times. So that's all I got. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. As always in the show, I'm your host, Maine, my co-host.
Miranda.
And we have the Grappling Reruns. No matter what it is, stay safe. If you like the show, please consider sharing it on Facebook with the folks at your gym. It's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. You can reach out to us on email.
We also have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Google+.
Until that shuts down.
We have a website.
If you have an event you would like to have us cover, please let us know. If you have a name, like most people do, and you'd like to have us stop butchering it,
Let us know.
reach out to us. The show is also available on YouTube, Spotify, in addition to iTunes and every other podcast service. We very much appreciate your time, and thank you.